Investigate TV is here.
You almost seem speechless.
Watch Investigate TV from the station that's on your side. This is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Good evening. First at 6 o'clock, we've got some powerful storms moving through our area right now. A few of our counties under a severe thunderstorm warning. So let's send things over right now to Laura Warren and Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale in the Weather Center.
A lot of action on the radar today, and we've already gotten some storm reports rolling in.
Yeah, we've had a few trees reported down in McCormick County, Saluda County, and we actually had an 87 mile per hour wind gust in Columbia at the airport up there. So these storms are definitely producing some very strong winds. Let's take.
Okay, Riley, thanks. We are also tracking some power outages from the storm already. Hancock has the most right this minute, about 1,200 in the dark. That's more than 900 with Washington EMC, over 200 with Georgia Power outages right now. Over 300 customers are without power in McDuffie County. 45 with Jefferson Energy Co-op, 250 with Georgia Power. So you can see just sort of across the board, everybody's dealing with some power outages as these storms continue to heat up in our area. Tonight, an Aiken County deputy coroner is accused of stealing prescription medication from the dead.
Just hours ago, Coroner Daryl Abel is telling us Alton Smith resigned after being placed on administrative leave. Nick Veland live in the newsroom for us with how they're investigating these disturbing allegations.
Yeah, Richard, the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, or SLED, is handling this investigation. Investigators say multiple prescription bottles and pill containers were removed from a house inside of a house in Aiken. Prescriptions were also found in a backyard shed, and now the former Aiken County Deputy Coroner is accused of pilfering prescriptions from the dead. The report says several prescription medications were secured from a house on Griffin Avenue in Aiken. After those pills were secured in the house, they found multiple prescription pill bottles and several clear plastic pouches containing prescription pills in a backyard shed. Aiken County Coroner Daryl Abel says that this has Alton Smith, the former Aiken County Deputy Coroner, accused of mishandling prescription medications collected as evidence at death scenes. And this isn't the first time something like this has happened in our area. Several years ago, former Richmond County Coroner Grover Tootin was convicted of stealing from the dead, and we reached out to SLED for more information in this Aiken County case, and we'll update you when we hear anything.
Certainly a disturbing case to look into. Nick, thanks for the update there from the newsroom.
No bond for a father arrested twice in 2 years over a 6-month-old baby's suspicious death. 2 separate babies. A judge denied bond again for 36-year-old Tyrone Scott back in March for the death of Samson Scott. Samson died in October of last year. Richmond County Coroner Mark Bowen said at the time the death was suspicious. Yesterday, Scott asked for the March decision to be reconsidered. We have requested the autopsy report. We'll update you as information comes into the newsroom. The investigation into the large brawl at Butler High School continues tonight. In a letter sent home to parents, we learned the fight broke out during the change from breakfast to class. As our Audrey Dickerver reports, other school brawls across the area have parents concerned.
A big fight broke out in Butler High School this morning. You can see the school principal being hit and staff trying to control the situation as much as possible. Richmond County Schools says the fight is under investigation. Multiple students are suspended and some have been arrested. The school says they will continue to provide additional security in order to ensure their students are safe. This afternoon, there were at least 5 police cars present during school release. But this isn't a problem unique to Butler High School. There have been multiple fights in the Burke County School District 2 since the first day of school, as well as a fight at Aiken High School that led to several arrests and a student injury. All of these fights in multiple school districts in the area have led to parents being concerned and wondering what safety will look like the rest of the year. Audrey Dickerver, on your side.
And that's the only information Richmond County Schools has provided. They did say they are taking this seriously.
If you live in Aiken, you have less than an hour now to make your choice in the District 8 primary. 4 candidates in the running right now. Taylor Martin live at the Leslie Price Senior Center with a closer look at today's turnout.
Well, voter turnout has been low today, and I spoke with Aiken County Elections about why. It's a quiet day in Aiken County, with less than 5% of registered voters coming out to vote in the District 8 election.
Because it fell in between the mayoral election for the city of Aiken, which was last week, and the runoff, which is next week, the mayoral race seems to have taken a lot of the attention.
We spoke with one voter about his concerns for the district.
We have a lot of abandoned houses, and it's hard to get anything done because when we trying to get the city to do something. They said, well, it belongs to the county. They try to get the county to do something. They said, well, it belongs to the city.
According to Aiken County elections, more than 12,000 people are registered to vote in District 8, but if people are concerned and registered to vote, where are the voters?
A lot of the voters that are in the city limits that are eligible to vote for mayor, some of them are also eligible to vote in the county council at rate 8 race as well, and they seem to be more focused on the mayoral race.
Even though the turnout for the primary has been low so far, you've still got a chance to turn things around and have your voice heard. Now, polls close tonight at 7 p.m. for the District 8 election, but they reopen tomorrow for early voting in the mayoral runoff from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Taylor, thanks very much. Let's hit that one more time. As a reminder, early voting for that runoff race for mayor starts tomorrow. Those polls open from 8:30 in the morning, as Taylor mentioned, wrapping up at 5 in the afternoon.
More moms are dying from childbirth complications here in Georgia than almost anywhere else in the country. And black moms are 3 to 4 times more likely to die than white moms. The most deadly issue, cardiovascular disease, failure to recognize the symptoms or follow up on them postpartum. But doctors at Augusta University are working to find solutions.
Motherhood wasn't really on Shelby's to-do list.
When I found out I was pregnant, I was in denial because I always was one that didn't want kids. But once I heard her heartbeat, it changed. That all changed.
Her pregnancy was complication-free. She worked up until the end and gave birth to the love of her life, Madison, by C-section. But when she got home from giving birth, something was not right.
My mom asked me, was I okay? She saw that I kept going to the restroom, and I told her I was very hot and I couldn't lay down.
Her symptoms got worse and her husband called 911.
They said if I would have got there 10 minutes later, I wouldn't have made it.
Her heart was failing. Doctors diagnosed her with postpartum cardiomyopathy. While she should have been snuggling her newborn, she was in and out of sedation, on and off a ventilator, fighting for her life.
I've been in Augusta now for 21 years in obstetrics, and it's been very evident that this area has a very high rate of peripartum cardiomyopathy.
In fact, a few years ago, doctors at AU crunched the numbers and found we had the highest rates in the country right here in Augusta. Without the right diagnosis and follow-up care, patients like Shelby die a slow, painful death.
Your blood pressure is great, Shelby. 106/73.
That's why this clinic at AU was born. It brings OB care and cardiovascular care together in one doctor's office, streamlined for patients. It's revolutionizing care for pregnant women, especially those at high risk for cardiovascular issues, who may otherwise slip through the cracks.
Really is a marriage between multiple specialties for expert care.
We're identifying them early so that they get treatment to try to prevent that from happening.
It's the only program like it in our area. Doctors identify a high-risk patient or diagnose a cardiovascular issue and send them here.
We went from once a month to twice a month, and then we got funded by the Department of Public Health. Now we are full-fledged, the only one in the area.
And the pilot program was so successful, the Department of Health wants to replicate it to help save lives across the state, with the goal of saving more moms like Shelby.
Thankful that God allowed the doctors to do what they had to do, and I'm still here, especially to raise my baby.
And we are thankful for that too. And one way they're hoping to expand this program is by making the experts we have here in Augusta available through telemedicine to some of the more rural spots. And if you'd like more information on this clinic, we've linked to the details on our website. You can find this story under our Finding Solutions tab at wrdw.com.
Happening now, neighbors from the Brynwood community are meeting to talk about safety concerns and homelessness in the area. And look at the turnout there. Richmond County Sheriff Richard Roundtree is out there with them this evening. Other city leaders, including Mayor Garnett Johnson and Commissioner Sean Franham, are also there to hear their concerns. This meeting will also address problems and concerns with Rays Creek and the neighborhood pool. We're going to let you know what happens during this meeting tonight on News 12 at 11 o'clock.
Almost $900,000 in grant money is heading to the Augusta Fire Department. The Assistance to Firefighters grant will help the department equip response vehicles with a device that gives automatic chest compressions. The funding will also give firefighters comprehensive cancer screenings. Still to come at 6 o'clock, road crews getting signs ready for Fort Eisenhower, when you can expect the changes after the break.
And we are tracking strong thunderstorms in the southern CSRA over the next couple of hours. We'll give you a radar update and a look ahead at some cooler temps over the next couple of days just after the break.
Time. Riley, thanks a lot. Just coming into our newsroom, we're getting a new look at the damage from this storm that we've been tracking. This is on Newberry Highway at Iris Road in Saluda County. You can see a rather large tree down across the highway there. Just a reminder, be careful if you're out there on the roads. So these trees might be coming down in other areas as well. You know, across Augusta, dozens of signs for Fort Gordon will be coming down in the weeks ahead. GDOT and the city working to replace them all as the post changes to its new name, Fort Eisenhower.
That's going to be hard to adjust to, as our Hallie Turner explained she might not see the new signs right away.
It'll be a big change. People that have been here for any amount of time will call it Fort Gordon probably for a while until they get used to the new name.
This big change brings a new name, one you'll soon see in big white letters on the green signs you typically see on your drive in Augusta.
We definitely want to make sure everything's in place by the time the official name changes in October.
More than 35 of these signs belong to the Georgia Department of Transportation, but a few dozen of them are owned by the city of Augusta, so there's a joint effort in replacing them.
The majority of the signs that are Augustas are located along Tobacco Road. All the signs along Gordon Highway, Interstate 20, Bobby Jones, responsibility of Georgia DOT.
While the official name change to Fort Eisenhower doesn't happen until October 27th, GDOT officials and engineering with the city tell me preparation for the new signs start now.
Just remake the sign. You could put something over the existing word. It doesn't look real good, and it also doesn't last very long. So guide signs are typically the same color, have the same line type, the same font, the same size.
Ushery says it will cost around $140 per sign for the city. GDOT tells me the majority of their signs along the major roadways are easy to replace, but the ones over the interstate and highways are larger and will take more time to produce because of the special equipment they require. In Augusta, Hallie Turner on your side.
So they say you might see smaller font sizing at first for Fort Eisenhower or no sign at all, but officials say not to fear, it's just temporary. It takes time to get them all done.
And he's right. It's going to take some getting used to.
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of change happening with the hospital names, with Fort Gordon.
Everything's changed, right?
Yeah, we love change around here.
Yeah, we do. Well, tickets are on sale for something that's not changing this year, Border Bash. Dan has the latest on what to expect this season next in sports.
Plus, View Homes are coming to South Augusta. We tell you where after this short break.
Play and Associates.
All right, what do we got? Looks like 64 yards to the pin. About 64 mile per hour winds. Dude, there's no wind. Hand me my 64-degree wedge. What's in with you and 64? Are you 64? .com!
100 new homes will be coming to South Augusta. Just hours ago, commissioners voted on the plans for a 74-unit development for Peach Orchard Road and another 37 units properties off of Windsor Spring Road. The 37-unit development, that is called the Diamond Lakes Townhomes. Their property values will be a little more than $200,000, and that project is expected to be done around 2025. The city says its number one complained about issue is mowing and overgrown grass, and today city leaders approved some ways to hopefully tackle that issue for the Garden City. Commissioners approved a $400,000 contract to a group to handle cutting all the grass. They also scheduled a separate meeting to address grass cutting with every department.
Congressman Rick Allen in his district today for a meeting on cyber and a tour of the VA hospital. He came to talk about homelessness and veterans' mental health, among other things. Congressman Allen says one of the initiatives showing results is giving people with no hope purpose.
That folks on safety net government programs can actually are required to go back to work. And we find that 85% of those folks that return to work are all the safety net programs within 2 years.
Congressman Allen in Augusta today. He also addressed the rise in fentanyl. He says working with other representatives to go after cartels who he says are trafficking the drugs into the U.S.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
The Josie High School football team hasn't had a winning season since 2015. In an effort to get back on track, the Eagles are turning to a familiar face to lead their program moving forward. Lawrence Pinckney is heading into his first season as head coach of his alma mater, and his experience playing in the SEC for the Florida Gators is helping him rally the troops. The players I spoke with say their mentality and approach is just different this year because more of their teammates are buying into the process of what it takes to be their best on a daily basis. We'll hear from Josie later on this evening about what they can do to get back on track. The Eagles kick off the season at home against Savannah Early College on Friday. And do you know what else is happening on Friday? Our first episode of Under the Lights. Throughout the football season, every Friday night at 11 o'clock, we're going to be breaking down the biggest football games and stories from all around the CSRA. In addition to watching on your TV, you can also stay up to date on all things high school football on our website and all of our streaming apps. College football season is almost here, and the tickets are now available for the 30th anniversary of Border Bash at SRP Park. The Border Bash Foundation will be holding this event on September 15th at 5 o'clock, the night before the Bulldogs and the Gamecocks go head-to-head between the hedges. General admission tickets are now $15 in advance and will be $20 the day of the event. That's it for sports. We'll be right back after this quick break.